before he changed music.
Hands off the table.
Good evening and welcome everyone to the final series here this weekend, week number 4 of MGE's SvS Summer League 2020. Can everyone hear me all right? I am Mr. Snow, joined here by my good buddy GT Reaps. How are you, sir?
Oh, fantastic. Staying inside, staying safe.
Yes, me too, as you just told me of all the events going on throughout the country here in the United States. I hope everyone is doing the same. Which is why, we were just talking, we're grateful to have Halo to play, which is always a good one. And this last series of this weekend will be Nova versus Boggling. Nova, the team to beat here, played 11 games so far in the season. This is, week number 4, the midway of our 8-week-long season. They've played 11 games and they've only lost 2. So they're certainly the team to beat.
Yeah, Nova's definitely been doing a lot of damage as they've played, but honestly, with the lineup they got tonight, Leon Oxide and Reaper are always going to be causing problems. The way that those two work together, Leon Oxide, real strong Slayer, and then the support play from Reaper. I would like to point out is Frosty, in terms of his individual skill, he's probably one of the best fires in the league. So sometimes it might even be feeling like Mind-Boggling is playing with 2 sleepers. So we'll also have to see, if Dab and Gent, they start playing well together. If Frosty shows up and he's playing at that sleeper level, if he's playing above his game and he's outperforming everybody else like he's done fairly consistently, not just with the games but in the scrims. I think Mind-Boggling could absolutely give Nova a run for their money here tonight, especially with the games they're playing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All those points, exactly what I would have said here. Frosty being one of the better fires for sure. Him and Epic, and obviously Gent, can just go off as well. You saw him play with Looney, just a phenomenal player in general. He went up from being ranked, I think, a ghost or a fire last season to up where he's at now at sleeper. Yeah, and so very much I think my predictions, I was just in the Nova chat. I've got them for our listen-ins today, at least for the first little bit. I still think they're favored here to win this series. They're the home team, so they get to choose. And in this game number 1, this is banter. We saw this yesterday. We saw CTF and Bombard actually yesterday, and Lunar came away with both of those. And this map, for me, summing it up right now the way I understand it, it's kind of hard to control because you got that top plat position that's super open. It's very advantageous to be there, but also objectively hard to recover on because there's super long sight lines. When you're at the bases, whether you're planting a bomb or trying to cap a flag or something like that. But Leon Oxide is the one who made this map. So I obviously, have to give my favor to Nova on this first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the more interesting maps. I've only played on it once myself, and I saw it played once. I believe it was earlier this week in a scrim. So, it's basically how every map kind of comes down to is controlling the sniper. Because I've seen the scrim I was watching earlier this week, that sniper was absolutely devastating because of, like you mentioned, those long sight lines. There's a lot of open area for that sniper to really start getting some kills and establishing that map control, as well as if they can get a hold of the power up as well.
Yeah.
Whoever's controlling those the best. Honestly, I know I say it pretty much every time, but power ups and power weapons, they're the biggest part of the game, and they're absolutely game changers. So whoever's controlling them the best, I feel, is going to directly translate to how they're able to control the map as well as the objective.
Yeah, that there's something too though to notice when we were saying yesterday. A lot of control on that top plat area. You can sort of snake around to get a good sight line up on the street side. That's where that sniper is. And there's a light rifle, or excuse me, everyone was calling it light rifle side. So there's light rifle, there's battle rifles. I believe there's a carbine that's over at the invis. So there are a lot of long-range weapons to be used here as well, and with those long sight lines. So I wonder, you know, if in the event of, you know, one team controlling a power weapon more often than not, how they're able to potentially shut it down just by keeping, you know, the pressure on with some of these not top tier power weapons, but, you know, the next grade down that still have the range. But that being said, I think we're about ready to get into it. All these players are here. Sorry for starting a little bit late. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining us here. If there is a viewer party, let us know. I know somebody was looking for that. Chili's was looking for that earlier, so to start one of those. But yeah, I'm about ready to get into this game if these players are. We'll get this show on the road. This next series here, Nova versus Mind Boggling. We've got Leonoxide, Dark Reaper, E-Hearts, Memes and Beer. We've seen all these guys play before. They've been the Leonoxide and Dark Reaper have played in every game. Hearts played in the majority of them as well. The three of them particularly working well together. Memes and Beer playing week 1, subbed out on the week 2. Now he's back. And we've seen Gent and Frosty and Dab having a rough go when he was playing a couple weeks ago, I believe. But I think he was playing with sort of the top 4. So now with the bottom 4, we'll see how this synergy goes. Lucky Lauren shouting out to Dark Reaper.
A lot of Dark Reaper love.
All the Dark Reaper love. Also, one of the better sleepers in this league. I think he's very strong.
Just overall, real genuinely nice guy.
He is one of the leaders here too. One of the veterans and the overseers at MGE. Always down to chat, talk, support you for whatever you need.
I'm kind of curious. I think this sniper is going to be a big battle here to start off. I have a feeling Leonoxide might be making a run for it, or Reaper. Or, you know, maybe even both. We'll see.
We'll see, because Leonoxide's always usually on those power-ups. No, Dark Reaper's actually running the other side. We've got E-Hearts who's going for this sniper. E-Heart's going to take a good angle here in the mid, but then slowly rotates back as he notices that the entire other team is starting to push.
Very quickly, you see already they got 3 down, so now they have control. Looks like Reaper got that camo, E-Hearts has the sniper, and they're all rotating towards this camo side to put pressure on the flag.
Yeah, and I like this. They're all sticking together as a squad, taking these angles, these, like we said, these long sight lines.
This little snipe from E-Hearts, but a little bit over aggressive, winds up losing the sniper. See if still keep that flag moving, but getting a little bit desperate, just kind of throwing bodies at this point. I think it's kind of a death. Just need to regroup and focus on controlling this map and prevent a counter cap from Mind Boggling here.
Yeah, mine had a good setup there to really prevent that flag from being pushed any further. The flag being basically right in the middle.
Memes and Beer off to a hot start already with 6 kills.
You know, he mentioned to me in the chat that he was going to be the one carrying this team.
Yeah, he's playing very aggressive, kind of chasing Gent down there, getting him cleared out of the base, but he is flying very quickly to get over there to blue base and support his team, and looks like they're going to try and get some control of this base here and start a flag run. Unfortunately, takes the flag right into a grenade and gets taken out. Nice little double from Epic Dab to stop that flag run.
Yeah, good defense. Reaper not able to grab the flag as it's there. Probably didn't matter as much. It's so close to their site anyway.
The problem here is that Mind Boggling didn't completely clear out their base, so now they're still kind of stuck back here fighting. And E-Hearts gets the jump on Dab, takes him out, so now there's 2 down again for Mind Boggling. Starting another flag run. But it was he got a little sneaky and got behind Nova there and started running the flag himself. So now Memes does get the return on it, but let's see if they can get this flag. Unfortunately, very close.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's something that we're going to see more often than not. Like I mentioned earlier, I thought, like in the games we saw yesterday, I thought that the overextend wasn't quite as doable just because of these long sight lines. And so you're not likely to see as many flag standoffs, you're not as many like close, you know, close grabs, and then, you know, but of course it's not, it's timed return, so that actually helps in that regard. So in that case, obviously, we saw the flag being returned for both teams. And in the event of, you know, not clearing out your base, and then the other team able to constantly put pressure on, that's a good play by that Premise would have made to go pull their flag, try and distract them a little bit, bring them back to their base.
I'm kind of getting the feeling that with this map, there's not really the best way to set up quite yet, because there's so many different angles that people can take on you, so many directions they can go to get behind you, that makes it very difficult to get those solid points of map control. It's almost like the best bet here is to try and push into the base and, you know, slay 2 or 3 guys, and then try and start a flag run and just basically move as a unit the entire time you're pushing, or try and run that flag.
Yeah, like we saw that initial start of Nova, just all on the left-hand side. You know, taking those good angles.
And no camo should be coming up soon if it hasn't already, so... Actually,
Clear playing very nice, just putting a lot of pressure on this street side. Has anyone grabbed that camo yet?
That I'm seeing, it might have gotten burned, honestly, because I haven't even seen it spawn up yet, unless it was a late grab. Okay, it was, so Chris just burned it at 25.
Wow, very late grab. That's surprising given Leon Oxide's, you know, history of being on top of these power-ups.
See, Ehart's, or I don't know, yeah, Ehart's made a very nice run, got the blue flag all the way into base, but Boggling was able to get a counter pulled. You know, unfortunately, Nova very easily slayed them all out of the base, put that first flag in relatively easily. Didn't really have a whole lot of from Boggling once they got him slayed out of their base. And it looks like Ehart's is going to start for a second when he's got 2 guys over on this camo side with him, Leon Oxide and that's Reaper.
Yeah, and Reaper doing a good job. Picked up a double, gets the perfect kill there to just continue this flag cap. And they're just going to keep staggering this as Eharts does a nice little kill on Kremis. He's just juggling it, but what a long flag run this is. Ooh, Leon Oxide missing the juggle there a little bit. Might have actually saved him, given his team some time to put this team out of their base.
Say didn't really get noticed, but Leon Oxide, he was actually inside Mind-Boggling's base fighting, pushing them back while Reaper and Ehart started running that flag, and once those 2 got dropped, he started rotating back around to keep that flag alive and keep it moving. So did a fantastic job of staying alive inside of Mind-Boggling's base, regardless of the pressure that was coming off of their spawn for him.
Yeah, and that's something that I think that's going to be very important here, as 2 of your members are starting to make, you know, good pulls and get around a long corner, and this, you know, again, like we said, these long ways that you have to go to get to get the right angles, right? And then if your team is able to then continuously put on pressure, and like I mentioned, there's not really quite a setup yet, but at least just holding some certain angles.
And it looks like Leon Oxide got another burn on camo, so the camo hasn't really been put to much use except for that initial push, which didn't turn into any any cap. So power weapons and power ups not really playing much of a factor in this first game. It's more just teams are making the right coordinated pushes at the right times, pushing the same side, and also taking different angles. You see Leon Oxide being very sneaky, gets a beat down, back on Frosty. He's just sitting in this base, putting out all sorts of damage, getting kills, and really pulling that focus off of the rest of his team, and they're forced to, Mind-Boggling is forced to focus on him.
Right. He's got that high ground, too.
Yeah, he's just causing so much panic and pandemonium in their base, putting all that damage and taking people out. Luckily, Mind-Boggling is able to take him out there, but that's the second time now that he's been able to sit in their base and wreak havoc by
It's
taking
funny.
down.
We were just on with Frosty's POV, just kind of like running across the map, not actually running into anybody, just avoiding all of the sight lines, apparently, from Nova. Now he's back over at the invis, gets a nice grenade, he's taken up. That will be a dead flag as Nova just dog piles it over on the invis side. And they might try and go for a counter here.
Say it looked like Nova got very favorable spawns there. They all spawned over in that courtyard on that camo side, right where Mind-Boggling was running that flag. And the next thing you know, there was 3 guys on that flag runner to stop that flag very quickly. But even when Nova started that counter pull, Mind-Boggling did a very good job of been back and oh man.
Oh, you see Leon Oxide up there?
Frosty he had an unofficial triple. He, a nice little double kill with some teamwork and just the last shot, and games kind of stay alive long enough. He didn't get the triple, but like I was saying, Mind-Boggling did a very good job, even though that Nova had a hard push and started pulling a flag on a counter pull. They recovered very quickly to get that flag stopped.
Ehard's grabbing this sniper, I believe for the 3rd time this game. Taking the head off Frosty there as he pulls up on this light rifle side. Dies to Kremis now though. Kremis will take this sniper out of his hands and take a position top flat. Like to see it.
Nice little headshot from him too.
And now if he has this angle, he can hit some shots. He should be able to secure, if they can get that flag out of that base. He would force Nova to take, really the invis side to defend and prevent a cap.
And Reaper barely got a hold of that flag to keep it alive and wound up putting in a 3rd flag cap now for Nova. So Nova, like I said, it's really just pulling the flag at the right time. They're kind of getting lucky when they're pulling it. And Mind-Boggling was just not really in a position to try and stop it. And then they get to a point where they just keep piling bodies on it, trying to keep that flag alive, and it's been working out fairly well. Them now having a 3-cap lead. Even when Mind-Boggling has their flag in the base, Oxide still in sneaky finds a way into their base and gets the flag in. It's back over on the Nova side, so now we do have a flag standoff.
Yeah, over on this light rifle side, and you saw the speed out of Leon Oxide.
Yeah, it does look like that flag got returned, so Mind-Boggling did get a cap. Ehart's elected to push out there on 3 guys as opposed to keeping that flag alive, which would have been nice because, could have kept that flag standoff going and, maybe even saved a cap, but I mean, even now, you see Mind-Boggling really holding over that ammo side, but Leon Oxide, again, being sneaky on the opposite side, pulling the flag. He's not making it easy for Mind-Boggling to get any sort of caps. He's continuously getting these counter caps, or these counter pulls rather, and really forcing them to work. But now there's 4 dead for Nova, so this could be 2nd flag cap now for Mind-Boggling to make this a very close game with 30 seconds left. You got players in the base ready to get another pull here.
Yeah, this is a good run by them. Or, excuse me, that was a good run by them.
Yeah, and then I think they're trying to focus too much on saving their own flag. They need to get a little bit more aggressive here, especially with those last 30 seconds. They got that flag cap. They could have had 2 guys in their base. They could have started pushing over and kept that flag pull. I believe it was Dab who made a flag pull there at the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He would have had that support. There's a possibility that we could have gotten that into overtime, but overall, very, very close game, especially in terms of slays. It just came down to those flag pulls at the right time. Nova just the flag pulls at the right time, and then when they were throwing their bodies at it to grab it and keep it alive, they were doing a fantastic job of that.
Yeah, and staying alive and being a nuisance up in the tops of their bases. Having to clear out your base is always something you should do before pushing out, because otherwise, you know, like Leon Oxide frequently had sort of that top plat position, just raining down fire, forcing people to either go out into top mid or over into the invis side of things with low shields, or he would just straight up kill them. Taking a quick look at the stats before we move on to the next game here. As you mentioned, relatively even slays between these teams. Obviously, Nova outslaying just a little bit on Mind, and that's nice to see, given that I was expecting Nova to come out of this like really a strong, favorably Slayer. This gives me confidence that we're not going to see a sweep here.
I mean, even in terms of the team play, the assists, again, very even. With the exception of Memes only having 5 assists, but he was still, you know, putting out all sorts of damage with 28 kills, 3,400 damage. You know, I guess he had a triple as well, so I missed a triple at least.
I missed the triple there. Oh, Memes, I'm sorry. Memes having quite a game, too. The 2 ghosts, I mean, even Kremis, look at this, 23 and 27, like, putting out 3K damage, like, doing work for their team. It's awesome to see.
Nobody less than 3,000 damage, and like I said, relatively close across the board. Everybody putting out a great amount of damage. And again, like I mentioned, Frosty, rigged as a fire, but plays at a sleeper level. This dude, again, having a great. Just from one game, he's having a great day already. 24 kills, 22 assists. You know, 4,300 damage, almost matching Dab with the amount of damage that he was putting out, as well as putting in a flag cap for his team as well. So
and
not
the
just
accuracy,
not only
too.
doing his playing, but he's playing that objective as well.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. All right, first game here goes to Nova in a close one. Whoops, that's weird. Did that do that? That's annoying. Yeah, our next one, Truth Slayer. So, let me see here. What do I have for notes here on Truth Slayer? Both teams are undefeated in Slayer in general, actually. So Nova's 3-0, mine's 2-0. Mine hasn't played on Truth, but Slayer, Plaza, Gent, Frosty, and Kremis, you know, this trio that we've seen now out of them, pretty dominating performance. You know, as we said, Gent playing at a high level. On the game against them in Fringe, he went 21-2. You can see here, obviously starting off, burning that camo right at 52, and Gent there to put the first strike on Leon Oxide.
And immediately off the bat, you're seeing a lot of focus over on the B side, but so now this gives them an opportunity to control a map. You see Frosty sitting top mid and Gent.
Yeah, Gent playing really fast to begin with there, getting that first kill, then hopping up to P. And now look at him, he's going to rotate around. So he recognizes Frosty has to leave top mid. The entire squad of Nova is over on that car side, and Gent's going to just play it smart, plays like he's got support of Kremis now. Looks like Memes wanted to make a flank, but that's not happening. A couple of other players now electing to go over to P, so they're really splitting it up here. This map, Truth is just a raw map. This is all about, you know, communication and sort of your raw ability to put shots on players.
And Hearts had a nice little double kill to clear out Mind Boggling when they had that top mid P2 control. And Hearts, well, not just Hearts, but the team shot in general allowed them to get a nice little double kill, which helped clear out that map control. Now you see Nova's starting to, they're electing to stay over on this P side and hold that red base as well, try and force those spawns over in that blue carbine and blue base, so they actually know absolutely where Mind Boggling is going to be. So they're just, it's like they're just trying to hold their position, force Mind Boggling to come to them as opposed to getting aggressive here and chasing them down.
Yeah, and Leon Oxide gets taken out in red base there. Reaper having to back down, so Mind taking a little bit more of an aggressive stance. Looks like it was Dab and Kremis now pushing over up into P side. Gent up at top mid, gets a kill. Leonoxide trading with him, but this Invis is up now. And this time, Dab gets away with it.
No pressure at all from Nova. It's almost like, even though they burned it, they weren't really in a position to set up for it.
Yeah.
Because their slaves fell there right when they Mind Boggling started pushing them in red base. Now you can see all of Nova spawning over in red. And again, it's kind of back to that one team holding that P2 position and just really trying to anchor down and maintain that map position over on P side.
Yeah, and so they have it, and Nova's kind of playing this smart. They recognize they didn't get the invis, and they don't really want to try and push out themselves. They're going to wait for Mind Boggling to push them, and you know, Epic and his team kind of in an interesting position. Like, he's taking this top P control. Gets a nice finish there on E-Hearts. Looks like that'll be, oh, not quite a double onto Means and Beer, as Kevin and Leonoxide find their way all the way around to that flank.
I say, and Frosty and Jet, they had a fantastic flank. They took out 2 guys over on Car side, and they were rotating into that red base to try and help those guys over on P2. Unfortunately, not quick enough, and now they're kind of still trying to fight their way back over to that P side. But now Nova definitely has that control over there.
Yeah, and I think Reaper knows exactly where they're spawning here in this bubble.
And he called it out, and Leonoxide dropped the grenade over on P2, put some damage on Gent. And Reaper is hunting for him. He wants that kill. Winds up getting it.
Nice job staying alive there. Frosty's gonna push him. Ends up getting taken down.
Ends up getting the kill on Frosty, but
so
it's really kind of back and forth. There's really not any solidified map control from one team or another, but it's definitely, in terms of the teamwork and the slays, is going in the favor of Gent with 10 kills, no assists, but I mean 24 assists already. 24 of the 25 kills have been assisted, so the team shot on Mind Boggling is, dare I say, mind boggling.
Love it.
Bad fun.
And that's impressive, you know, like, for any of you played before and you've ever taken a look at that stat in details, it's the one that I tend to do a lot, you know. I don't know, on a good day, they'll be half.
And yeah, like, already they have, over half of their kills are already, like, assisted. Over half of the entire game's kills are already assisted. They only have 29 kills. Right. So, know that they're definitely communicating. Their communication's on point right now.
That being said, I kind of wish we had a listen-in on Mind Boggling. Unfortunately, we don't, but we do have one for Nova. So let's kind of take a look into them as they kind of made their comeback here. Now only down by 3. They were down, I think, by 6 or even 8 at one point. They've crawled it back here. So let's give a quick listen in to them, see how they're doing in the mid-game. Ah, they keep doing that.
Hey, Gents P3. There's no one P1.
He's dead. Behind you, Leon.
He's one.
In the bottom car.
Right rear.
Bottom car.
41 camo. I got camo 41. I got camo.
Oh my god, he's weak. It's only 5 kills. It's only
He's
5 kills.
pushing
We
you,
got
Alex.
this. No, don't push Alex. No. Okay. He popped out the window. You got 3 kills. Car.
Gents one shot on me. Okay. One shot our car.
Weak on red.
Car
Dab.
cuts, red car cuts. He's going top mid.
Top red. Top mid one.
shot top.
Top P, one shot. Nice.
Oh, but we gotta watch our backs.
Watch out
you,
behind
T-Hawk.
you.
No. Hey, camo. We gotta get this next.
Camo's at like 42. I got one there, one window.
There's another one.
Spot him.
Shit, he's up, he went up.
He's dead.
Nice.
One on my X. Weak.
I can't challenge that.
Evan, stay alive.
I am.
Evan, they're pushing you.
Far side.
All right, looks like they brought it right back. 42-41, now only down one. A little bit of frustration in their voices, mainly Leonoxide and Reaper, the leaders here, talking, but doing a good job rotating around together. We saw Leonoxide play that camo very, very softly, but again, putting in a lot of shots.
I was gonna say, yeah, they were. I mean, it sounded a little bit panicked, but they were also being extremely calm about it. And you heard Reaper saying, "Kind of keeping track of the kills, like keeping his team focused, like letting them know, come on, we're only down 3 kills, we can get this. It's 3 kills, 2 kills, 1 kill." And now they're right back in it, despite how much of an advantage Mind-Boggling had very early on.
Yeah.
But even that being said, Mind-Boggling is still doing a fantastic job of, team shooting, and they're hanging it barely, like they're barely keeping this lead. But we have all of Nova just sitting over on P2, one good nade, and they're gonna be in some problems here, honestly.
I know, you can see though, Mind-Boggling was hesitating though, playing it a little bit cautiously. Gent sort of hanging back, anchoring here, watching for any sort of flanks. 2 of his teammates go down though to a double by Leonoxide, but Gent's able to clean it up. Ehart's trying to flank around, and they get that one more kill now to go for Mind-Boggling, 49-48.
Interested to see if things kind of slow down here, because both teams are bunching up. They're not one to give up any sort of easy team shot or 2v1s. So they're very much rolling together, trying to stay alive and work off of each other. And, oh, that's it. Dab got it.
Dab got it, that last one. 50-48. Man.
Man, need to do some quick math here for the assists. 42 off the top of my head. Yeah, 42 assists. Over 80% of Mind-Boggling's kills assisted in that game.
Jeez. Gent going 20-11 with only 2 assists there. Clearly just cleaning up all the kills of his team. That's a great sign though too, because still with that many assists for the 50 kills, that is just wild. Everybody having their role, and the damage split very evenly across, so no one player, again, seeing Gent with the 20 compared to Kremis following it up with 12, but his damage is basically the same. It's just sort of how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
And another interesting thing is everybody on Boggling had a killing spree with the exception of Frosty.
Wow. Yeah.
So not only were they getting the kills, they were staying alive, especially at the beginning point of that game where they started building up that lead. Obviously, started falling apart there towards the middle area, but they stayed strong mentally and kept playing and working as a team. And obviously, very close game, but wound up coming out victorious on in this game too.
Yeah. Game number 3, Ring Strongholds, will be our next one. Now, let's see. We haven't seen Ring Strongholds, I think, be played. I mean, I know we've seen Eden Strongholds play, and Nova won theirs last week. Saw a lot of total controls, which I found very interesting out of that. Just sort of, constantly rotating around and slaying out throughout that game. And then Mind has lost one, and they lost it against Crazed. but it was like a very close game, I believe. 200 to 189. Yeah, I have that written down. And they had actually a lot of total controls there. So really interesting, like very fluid game, you know, Rig, Stronghold, and we'll see how it plays out on Rig. Obviously, you know, you got inside and outside. Typically, you want to hold basement and nest being sort of the easiest because you have that visibility. But, you know, in the past, we've seen these teams kind of do a big loop, you know, and sort of try and cap as many things as they can.
As I say, is what I've noticed between the first game and the second game is mind-boggling. When they don't have to focus on objective, they seem like they're a lot more comfortable, especially with their team shot for very obvious reasons.
Yeah.
42 assists, but that doesn't go. That not gonna. Doesn't really go without saying. In the first game, they were fantastic with their assists. It's just, I mean, they still pulled it back and kept it close at the end, but when they throw that objective in there, they seem to go a little bit. They get a little bit. They lose focus a little bit of what they need to do in order to keep moving forward on the game.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and that's like, you know, that's the beauty of objective too, is that, you know, it makes it more complicated. So you've gotta continue to keep all those things in mind. And sometimes just being a good slayer doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get that objective. Many games I've played in, we've outslayed the team a fair amount, and it doesn't result in the win because we're not getting the right slays at the right time. So. But that being said, let's jump into this next one, Rig Strongholds, whenever these players are ready. What was the score of the first game, the CTF one? Remember? I think it was... I think it ended up being 3-2, actually.
Yeah, it was 3-2.
Yeah.
Very close. 3-2, and then Dab started running a flag with 30 seconds left.
Right. I know. So not, you know, that game, they really clicked with the objective at the very end there. They figured that one out. Rig Strongholds probably have more experience with, so we'll see how this one goes. You know,
That's always a little bit different when you're playing on some of these newer maps like Banter and Septic and stuff that isn't like a normal rotations for HCS and stuff.
Right.
But Leon Oxide gets a good jump and gets camo. I think it was like right around 54, so.
He can play very fast, that's for sure, and he takes like an interesting route, sort of being avoided by nades. His team's now taking basement, as they've already taken BR base. Now they're going to rotate through open deck to try and get a nest.
Yeah, mind-boggling doesn't look like they're really moving too quickly on this objective yet because...
Well, they're dead.
4 down. So they spawned in bunker and they go for that BR base, and they were very slow to keep pushing out, you know, kind of put pressure anywhere else. So that allowed Nova to really collapse on them very quickly and take them all out. And it looks like we're going to wind up getting the same thing. And a double kill from Memes and Beer. That's 3 down. Last guy.
Wow. Yeah, what a collapse there. Leon Oxide knows exactly when they're spawning. He was there with the high ground, and their team's able to just fly that.
Yeah, he's, like I said, it just seemed really kind of a little bit slow from, mind-boggling, but it seems like they're starting to pick up the pace a little bit more. You see they get that BR base real quick, and then got 3 guys in nest. A nice little double from Leon Oxide. Does a fantastic job of staying alive, but still wind up getting that nest stronghold. But just as quickly as they got that, Nova was back over in BR base and swapped that one. So Nova, they got that advantage of the strongholds, and now they're just kind of playing the rotation game where they're maintaining that one stronghold advantage over mind-boggling right now.
Yeah, exactly. And you saw Kremis there. He ended up taking that nest as being the last one alive, and it took him a while as he eventually got the kill on Leon Oxide. But then, you know, a couple players from Nova spawned and took it right back.
again, it's kind of like you're really just a back and forth type thing right now between Nova and Boggling, because Nova is very intelligent players out of Leon Oxide and Dark Reaper, so they know where they're spawning, and they just keep kind of rotating that opposite map, the opposite side of the map, to capture other bases. But now they've got a total control, and Dark Reaper with a nice double.
Wow, and we're on with Memes and Beer right now, who's just like playing incredibly well. His map movement, just putting on shots, listening to the callouts. Like, seriously, now with a total control, I can see why. Memes and Beer just staying alive for so long. Now he's just being very aggressive, just putting all these shots, and even gets the kill on Chemist before he's taken out by Dab.
I say Dark Reaper, he was helping him out. He was sitting over on the corner putting shots. Everybody was on that open deck and Carbine just looking over at Ness for Memes and Beer, and Dark Reaper was sitting over in that yellow corner just putting shots on people from across the map. So they're, just the map movement of Nova right now is very strong, because they're able to control everything. They're moving around and they're dictating the spawns, and they're determining where they're spawning so well that they're not giving
Any
chances.
breathing room.
Yes, they're giving absolutely nothing right now.
Oh, I missed the premise with the back smack. Then goes for Memes and Beer for the nice little double. Looks like they're going to try and take this basement. For anyone not familiar, this is slightly different than your typical HCS strongholds. You can see here the points to win is not 100. It is 200, and that's because you score points even when you only have one stronghold. And that being said, your time to cap is significantly decreased when you have more than one player in that stronghold with you. So, typically that's why, we're seeing Dark Reaper here be alone, and as soon as Memes and Beer jumps in, it's almost like it immediately went up. Dark Reaper almost with the double perfects there.
And sits on a nade from Dab. Who is that? Caught camo. Oxide picking up camo again. I think that might be for the third time already. Leon Oxide's had camo.
Yeah, he had it the first time. He had it the second time we were with him. I think there was actually, was there a burn on it? I think there was a burn on it. Maybe
Might have been.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing anybody with camo. Leon Oxide, he's like all over the map right now. That's, largely due to the fact that Nova's doing such a fantastic job of rotating. See Leon Oxide and Memes working very well together over in yellow corner. Now they're going for this basement, and they're like, all the focus is over at Ness, so they're having no pressure at all from Mindboggling.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see Mindboggling, they were trying to just run together as much as possible, but Nova just controlling this map so well. They're knowing where it is, and they're just all flying in on it with the aggression of Leon Oxide, and Memes and Beer, honestly, just being those aggressors, and then gives their teammates a lot better times, Reaper, to come and take that anchor position. Nice little flying shotgun kill. Not quite the double there, but spots these two players spawning outside BR base. And I mean, this 156 to 57, this is the kind of game, unfortunately, it's not quite like, say, King of the Hill or, Capture the Flag or something, where if you don't have the majority, you're not scoring. Even if they had one at this point, unless they only had one for the rest of the game, I think they could still be a tough one to lose.
And P-Hearts with the deadly camo and railgun combination here. Looks like he's out of railgun. No, he's still got a couple shots left, but he's putting out a lot of damage. He's doing a fantastic job with this railgun right now.
Yeah, just taking the right sight lines there, using the auto-stabilize so well, just get that perfect little angle on all those players over in basement. Another total control here from Nova. And this is the type of dominating performance that we're kind of used to seeing from this Nova squad with Leon Oxide, Reaper, Eden Hearts, and Memes and Beer from week 1. And I think it's one of the strongest lineups.
Absolutely, because I mean we've been seeing it. We've seen it in previous weeks, but that Reaper and Leon Oxide, the way that they can move around the map together, and the aggressiveness of Leon Oxide, it's just real hard for other teams to keep up with that kind of pace.
Yeah, and Reaper there being just incredibly sneaky, standing up there on Battle Hedge, misses the first whiff, back smack, gets another one, and without any radar on this at all, like, it enables him so much more to do what he wants to do.
And just like you said, the typical dominating performance out of Nova that is fairly used to, and Reaper and Leon Oxide again. 27 assists between two of them. I mean, the damage overall as well, significantly better on the Nova side compared to over on Boggling, but
Yeah, and accuracy too. Everyone just hitting all their shots over 50% for everybody, and Leon Oxide 67.
As I say, a lot of it was Leon Oxide. He was doing a lot of work, and even, Memes and Beer as well.
Wow, yeah, same exact stats, 18 and 9. Incredible performance. All right, well, that was our game number 3. Now Nova up in this series 2-1 against Mind. This next one, Cryptic, King of the Hill. So Nova is 1 for 1 on this. They have 1-1. In week 2 versus Equinox, and then the loss on this is actually one of the games that they dropped in this whole season, which they dropped to Crazed. And let's see here, Mind lost theirs on Cryptic also to Crazed. So Crazed being the one who really plays this Cryptic King of the Hill well. These lineups are different, so I'm expecting to see obviously a different type of game here. But but Gent and Frosty have played this twice, so they have a little bit more familiarity with it. So if there's going to be a game for Nova to take here out of Nova, hopefully that Rig Strongholds are able to shake it off and play this one the way they need to and really control these rooms and take this King of the Hill game. I think they can do it.
As I say, if Frosty and Gent, they step up and they have a better game this on this map, and we see how they were able to control the map and their teamwork on our map like Truth. I feel like if they wind up putting that to use in this game, they can absolutely take this game forward. But we'll be having ourselves a Game 5 series.
We'll see. Let's give it up for both of our teams here. I'm rooting for Mind-Boggling to make this go to a Game 5 because I want to see some Fathom Bombard. Hope everyone in chat and in the viewer party and everybody watching this is having a good time. We're certainly having fun here. Let's get into it. Thanks so much for joining us on this wonderful, wonderful Sunday. It just got blazingly hot here in the Boston area for me. I cleaned all my ACs today and gonna be putting them in soon.
Game 4 rolling.
Woo.
An overkill. We'll see someone get an overkill. That's a good map for an overkill. People bunch up, especially in Red Room. You get a good nade or a good team push.
Oh yeah.
We got opportunities for an overkill.
I know, especially as these squads have been really sticking together. We saw a couple potential opportunities. Obviously, we have the outlines, but if there's like some nice grenades, I need Heat Flux in here with his cluster lux,
Heat Flux, 4 kills, 2 stickies. That first game, he was close to a triple. But, definitely with the team shots, there's the opportunity for an overkill here, depending on how people push and how they play this. But let's see. I don't know if our OS got burned at its mirroring. I don't see anybody with OS, but this initial push, Mind-Boggling definitely got the better of it. They got the railgun, they got control of this hill right now. Looks like Nova's getting some lucky spawns over in bottom gold. Pick up a few seconds here on this first hill, trying to. I'm just doing a fantastic job of staying alive. Unfortunately, Mine's getting taken out, just too much pressure from Nova.
Yeah, Nova playing very aggressively.
This hill, but you see Mind-Boggling kind of already setting up in this next room for this hill. They already got 2 down on Nova's side, so this is an opportunity for them to get some map control and definitely put up a decent chunk of time here.
And unfortunately, Gent looking away from that angle of that player going up, that was made it opportune for Clean Oxide to come in, hook up this pressure and take this hill.
I'm not entirely sure what happened, how they pushed that, but Nova did a fantastic job the way they came in. They took out 3 of Mind-Boggling very quickly and regained control of this hill.
Yeah, part of it was we were on board with Gent, and he happened to just look away from the angle that he was, probably should have been watching more securely the whole time. And then 2 players from Nova were able to come in and clean him up.
And very quickly, Mind-Boggling came back and they did. They cleared out the hill, but now it's kind of going back and forth. But let's see if Nova will start rotating for this new hill. Rehearts and Reaper are definitely making a move for it, and very quickly take out Frosty. And now they're going to get control of this red room hill, which is where you're going to be able to pick up a lot of time. This is one of the easier hills to hold down, especially on this map. A nice little nade from Memes after he dies to get the from the grave, but it looks like Dab does have the overshield, so a little bit of forgetfulness on Nova's side, because Dab was able to work that hill with full OS, come in, put some damage, and try and get this red room control back for Mind-Boggling.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. Sometimes you end up saying, okay, do I want to prioritize this power-up, or do I want to prioritize getting in a good setup for a hill? And sometimes, you pick one and you see what you can do with it. It's kind of that's how you use the power-up and see if you can then break the setup, and then, of course, if you're the team that sets up, how well is your setup?
And now we got the railgun up. I haven't really seen anybody go for it yet. That could be one of the best weapons to use, especially for this hill that's sitting top mid, because with it being a one-shot kill, you can clear out people very quickly.
Yeah.
But Nova, well, E-Hearts now has that railgun. We saw what he was doing with it with the camo last game. But Nova does a fantastic job of clearing everybody out of that hill and taking that control now. E-Hearts with the power weapon. But he does have 2 of his teammates dead. He doesn't have any support here at the top of this. Okay, he doesn't even need the support.
He did a really interesting. He backed down just right at the right moment, sort of like, and I think somebody else was distracting one of the Mind-Boggling players, so he was able to come in, pop off that railgun shot. Now doing a good job staying alive here. Now is a back anchor position. Unfortunately, missing some of these railgun shots, but it almost doesn't even matter because it's just the fear of it is enough.
Well, it's not just that, but the team shot from. The team shot from Nova, they're putting out damage and forcing people to back off, but now we have 4 dead on Nova, so this is a good opportunity for Mind-Boggling to get control of this hill and pull up some good time. And Frosty knows that OS is up, he's going for it, and E-Hearts winds up picking it up and he gets assassinated. By Memes. And now they are 3 down, and Nova regaining control of this hill. Now they have control of the hill, control of purple room, as well as the overshield.
Damn, look at this. E-Hearts is the only one. Well, for a moment, he felt like he was the only one in this room, and just because the other players from Nova were being so aggressive, taking different positions outside of it to prevent Mind-Boggling from taking the hill. But look at that, Kremis coming in. Of course, Alex there to E-Hearts to stop that.
see Leon Oxide already sitting on this top teleporter. He was rotating to Red Room very, very soon, waiting for that next hill. Even though his teammates were still over in that last hill, he did a fantastic. Like, the rest of his team did a fantastic job holding that hill long enough to maintain that control, and gives Leon Oxide time to get this hill set up. And he's got a fantastic position here, just putting damage. Nobody even knows where he is.
Yeah, I remember seeing this position, and when we first introduced this map, and somebody pointed it out. Might have even been Leon Oxide himself, and it's hard, a little bit tricky to get to. Obviously, you're kind of potential of dying if you miss any of those jumps, but Leon Oxide being very good at map movement. Looks like they kind of now know exactly where he was, but still, I feel like the damage has been done for that hill this time, and now with 160 left to go, this is getting to be crunch time here for Mind-Boggling.
I was gonna say, it's you, especially with Leon Oxide, someone who makes maps, you feel like he's got the map movement down. How much time he spends on maps making them and testing them himself. So he's definitely got some real good map movement, which is always fun to see.
Yeah, it really is. Just the way somebody like that can move and the speed in which they play. And it's always fun. Frosty now here. Or Mind-Boggling picking up this overshield, so could make a run of it here. Good place to just eat up shots, but he needs some support from his team if he's going to make this happen. He's forcing them back out of the hill.
And you see, they're a little unfortunate because now they're 3 down for Mind-Boggling, almost 4 down. Gent having to back off now that he's 1 shot, but you know, with Frosty even having that OS, the little bit into your own head, thinking he'd be a little bit more aggressive, and started pushing that and just sat on 2 grenades, which, you know, very good grenades by Leon Oxide, but effectively making that overshield useless.
Right.
This Reaper with the railgun missed a shot there for a second, but a nice little double. It's a killing spree to go for it, go with it.
Yeah, he snuck on, just used that teleporter. I feel like we've seen it a couple times this game. It's always one I'm always scared of going through teleporters because someone's gonna know right where I am. But that's usually gets the flank there on those players. And Leon Oxide obviously there to help him out. Now Memes and B are here with Reaper, just controlling this hill together, just slaying out from it. And Mind-Boggling is having a tough time with this, and that's gonna be game.
Yeah, that last hill, they both just sat in there, just piled in there, so that way, you know, force Mind-Boggling, they got to put out a little bit more damage, take out 2 people instead of just 1. So, you know, really forcing them to, they had to put out a lot more damage than just focusing on 1 guy. So, with the last, you know, 10-15 seconds, they all jump, or Reaper and Memes and Beer just jumped in there to try and scoop up those last few seconds to basically put that game to bed, not really give my coming back. But
Yep.
you know, again, with the stats, very even for the most part. The only major difference I'm seeing here is the assists. The team shot on the side of Nova significantly better, but the damage overall, again, very similar.
Yeah, I feel like they were just constantly running together. Anytime we switched to anyone's POV, there was somebody, sometimes even just within reaching distance of another one. And you know, especially on a map like that, if you know, with the sort of the points of entry to each room being a door, somebody comes through that door. If you've got 2 people shooting at them, you know, sometimes if it's just from the same location, that's okay. They just get melted instantly, and there's almost no chance for them to back down, at least not very safely. And then with just all the flank potential because of how small that map is, you can constantly sort of swoop in and rotate around as necessary.
Yeah, but overall, in terms of play and slaying, it was very close for the most. Well, and statistically, for the kills, it was close.
Right,
But
right.
objective play on Nova is just out of this world. The way that they were controlling maps and the objectives and the rotations, they just did a fantastic job. So didn't really give Mind-Boggling any sort of a chance to win any of those OBGA games.
Yeah, kudos to them, showing that they can play the objective as well as slay. And yeah, they're 4-0. They're the team to beat here. Nicely done by Nova. So this concludes our broadcast for today. This is week number 4, so this is our mid-season. Now, you know, and we were talking about it earlier in the party chat. This puts Nova in a really good position for the playoffs. And the way the playoffs are going to work, at least initially, is that, you know, we're doing Lunar versus Solar, and so we've got 3 teams on each. And if you are the top seed, you get a bye. So right now, this puts Nova in the, you know, many games ahead of their other solar teams there to take this top number seed. And, you know, as long as they continue to play well, it's going to be very difficult, I think, for any of the other squads to overtake them. And so they're looking like they'll have a bye. But yeah, well, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys had a good time. Thank you, Reeps, for joining me as always. Good games to watch. Always fun to see. Always fun to watch for me. Always fun to watch Leon Oxide, Reaper play together, and getting to see Memes and Beer there just go off on these games as well. Like super crazy, awesome plays by him. So congratulations to Nova, Mind Boggling. You know, we'll see you all next week for week number 5 as we get into the second half of this season. Any last words, Reeps?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, me too. I hope everyone has a good Sunday. I'm going to probably be gaming all night. I'm going to go have some dinner and then either get on some Halo or just kind of hang out and crunch over these stats.
That's a good idea. I need to go get beer.
Yeah, do it up. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.